Okay, well today is my 37-week update. I'm 37 weeks and 4 days today. I was supposed to make this video on Monday, but my midwife cancelled due to a lady in labour, so I didn't have my midwife appointment until yesterday on Wednesday. So I thought I'd just, leave it until then. And it's a good thing I did. It's going to be a crazy video. Anyway, okay, so yesterday I woke up with like this huge intense pressure on my bladder, and it's sort of almost, I don't know, I would have thought maybe it was even a bladder infection because it hurt really bad. And yeah, I was up like 4 times, and I'm never up more than like once. So yeah, it was really strange, and I had to get up at like 5 AM just to get up and be active because lying in bed was doing nothing. Later on I started to feel really, really sick, and sort of like morning sickness, but not as bad as I had it, but like, yeah, just felt nauseous sort of thing. So, but then I thought, oh, maybe I'm just hungry, so I decided I'd have my breakfast, and that did make me feel better, but I felt starving. I just couldn't get enough to eat. It was crazy how much I could put away, and then the nausea would come back. So it was really, really shit. Anyway, so later on when my husband got up, by then it was about 9 AM, maybe? 8 or 9, something like that. I decided I would go have a shower, a nice hot shower, try and make myself feel better because my midwife appointment, I had to get to. So I had a hot shower, and when I stepped out, like a really hot shower, I had them super hot. When I stepped out, my husband was in the bathroom brushing his teeth or something, and he turned around and he said, "Oh my God, hon, your legs are blue." And I was like, "What do you mean they're blue?" And I looked down, and half my legs, like on the inner thighs and the inside of my legs, were red from like the hot water, which like the rest of my body was. But the outside of my legs and my feet were like blue and purple. And he touched the outside, and they were cold as well. Like there was no heat there. I was freezing. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And he pressed on it. If you press on your skin and like it goes white, and then like the capillaries refill it back to colour. Well, it took ages to come back to any colour, and that colour was purple. So I was like, what the hell? And so I looked over my belly as much as I could and looked down at my feet because they were sort of tingly, and I was like, oh, they look a bit swollen. Do they look swollen to you? Because I couldn't really see. And he was like, oh, maybe a bit. So I picked them up and brought them up to my, not my face, as high as I could get them so I could see. And no kidding, they were like 3 times their normal size. I usually have really skinny, bony ass ankles, and there was no bone there. You couldn't even see it. They were just huge and fat, and I was like, ah! And so I had a little mini panic attack and started freaking out and crying and stuff. And so, yeah, that wasn't really that fun. But, yeah, we decided we'd just leave it till the midwife appointment because by then it was only like 2 hours away. And I knew she was really, really busy from having the lady in labour and trying to sort out everyone else's appointments that she did miss. So I thought, if anything else happens, like I faint or something, then, yeah, I'll get Matt to call. Anyway, so we waited for my appointment. I went to my appointment, and she couldn't explain any of it. She had no freaking idea. We just put it down to Charlotte being on the wrong nerve or on a blood vessel or something, considering the other pressure and pain I had with the bladder. So I don't know. I told her that I'd been experiencing some, like heaps of Braxton hits lately, and also had an episode of contractions last Saturday. But yeah, so she did like the normal wee tests and stuff, and it was all completely negative, no proteins or anything to suggest preeclampsia, which is what we were thinking. But my BP was also like, well, normal for me, so I think it was 110 over 70, something like that. So yeah, we had no explanation, but when I mentioned that I didn't really have a hell of a lot of fetal movement since 5 AM either, and by then it was about 2 PM, I only felt like 3 movements, maybe, like major ones. And so she was like, oh, well, that's a bit not right. So anyway, so she decided to refer me to the Palmy Hospital for some monitoring, which like totally threw me for like 6. I was like, crap, there's something pretty major. She's thinking, yeah, that she's not telling me. So, yeah. Anyway, so we raced home, scoffed some toast, and because we hadn't had lunch yet, and then just drove straight to Palmy, and they just got me straight in to the delivery suite, and yeah, we were there for 5 hours all up in the end, but for the first like hour and a bit, they had me on a CTG machine, which shows baby's heart rate and like any uterine activity and stuff, like when she moves and if I'm contracting and stuff. Her heartbeat was nice and variant, which is what they want to see. They said super healthy baby, so that was really cool. But it also showed that I was having contractions, which of course I could feel, like, who can't? But they were like Braxton Hicks with period cramps, so like they're probably just Braxton Hicks. But yeah, they were regular, like every 30 minutes-ish. And then, what else? Then after that, they decided they'd draw some bloods, so she did, no, she took my blood pressure first, which was like 160 over 110. Through the frickin' roof. So, they were like, okay, this isn't so good. We'll see what your body's up to. So, they decided to take some bloods. And that, I'm not, like, fazed by blood tests because I've had so many over my life already with surgeries and stuff. But, yeah, it frickin' hurt. I don't know if she's just a shit blood drawer or what, but it really hurt. And when she pulled the needle out and told me to put pressure on, I just bled through all the paper that I was pressing, and she's like, press harder. I'm like, I'm pressing as hard as I can. And I was just pissing out blood, and I was like, holy crap. Eventually it stopped, but I was so scared. That's never happened, ever, before. I presume it's to do with the high blood pressure, but it was so freaking scary. But yeah, so they did that, and then they also did a pee test, and they did all that while I was there. And that all came back fine, apparently, so apparently I'm pretty good. And then they got the doctor to come in. He'd already read all these results and stuff. And they came in and they did a scan. I was so excited because we haven't seen her since like 20 weeks. So yeah, it was really, really cool to see her, and he was super, super nice. Like, he just showed us everything. Unfortunately, she was in such a twisted position. Like, she's sort of to my back, but on an angle forward, if that makes any sense. So he could not confirm the sex for me, which I was really hoping since we actually got a scan. But yeah, he couldn't do that, unfortunately. But he showed us her heart, and it's perfect. Like, it's just, I couldn't stop smiling. And he showed us the cord and the flow and all that. So everything is great. But yeah, the cord is up like going across here. So he didn't really say anything bad about it, but I'm kind of thinking he's thinking that it may come out around the neck. So yeah, I have to do a lot more forward sitting and crawling to try and get this girl to become anterior over the next, like, well, now. But yeah, so and he showed us like the profile and stuff of what she's gonna look like. It's like, oh, it's not very clear because it's not 3D or anything. It was still only 2D, but yeah, seeing her little button nose and her open and shut her mouth and stuff was really, really neat. Okay, I think I'm going to make this a two-parter because there's still a little bit more to talk about. So yeah, watch part 2. Bye!